Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 49 of Gains, and I just need to click on the thing here so I can read it. And this one is titled Competitive Date. Ha! You want to bet? You replied to his cheekiness. It's not even a challenge. He replied with his smirking scowl. Don't test me, you replied, poking your nose into the air as you crossed your arms playfully across your chest and closed your eyes. You heard him make a small scoff sound, but that was about it. And in another few seconds, you were at the arcade. Air hockey, you said as you stepped into the place. Huh? He grunted. Air hockey, you said again, a little louder this time. Fine, he grunted, following you to the air hockey table. You took out your wallet and took some money from the pouch and slotted it into the coin slot, then twisted the knob there. The table lit up with lights and the air vents jumped to life as the hockey puck and paddles were released into the holds at either end of the table. Bring it on, you challenged cheekily. Bakugo smirked, grabbing the closest paddle and walking to one end of the table to set himself up. Even if I lose to him, this is going to be good practice for my reflexes, especially being up against him, you thought as you walked to the other end of the table and set up. Who goes first? You asked across to him. I'll start, he said, taking the puck from the tray and placing it down in front of his paddle. Here it comes, you screamed internally, bracing for the impact. You did see his arm move, you did see the puck move, but then it seemed to just up and vanish from plain sight, and the next thing you knew, the puck was sitting in your tray and the lights had lit up around Bakugo's scoreboard, the score for him now indicating a 1, and yours still sitting at 0. Wait, what? You gasped out loud, looking down to the tray at the puck. That was so fast. What was that about being a challenge? Ha, you're no match for me, he boasted proudly. Again, you said firmly. You ready to lose again? He asked as you set up the puck to send it back. You placed the puck down in front of your paddle and eyed his side of the table. Do I do a straight line, or should I bounce it off the side? You wondered, choosing to bounce it. Too slow, Bakugo shouted, intercepting the puck at a lightning-fast pace and sending it straight back to you and into your goal chute. The machine chimed again as he accumulated another point and you groaned. How do you do that? You asked. Is there a trick to it? You just have to be me, he replied proudly. I'm being serious, you bum. Please help me? You asked, putting on a little begging face. He clicked his tongue to his teeth and grabbed his paddle to walk around to your side. Here, he grunted, placing the paddle down on the table in front of you and putting his right hand on it with his body close and turned to you. You looked down at his hand. This was the closest you'd been to him, where he wasn't trying to murder you or hit you in some way, and you had a chance to admire his arms. They were muscular, that's for sure. Were his forearms bigger than Kiri's? Oi, pay attention, he snapped, and you jumped slightly and then looked into his face. His crimson eyes held your gaze, and you both stood there for a second looking at each other until you looked away. Do as I do, he said lowly, and you looked to his hand on the paddle and then set up with your own hand on your own paddle exactly how he had his. Hold it lightly, he commanded. Not like that, dumbass, you're holding it too heavy. Here. And then all of a sudden, his really warm hand was encasing yours and his fingers were on your fingers. Lighter, he said into your ear, in a softer tone so as not to burst your eardrum. Yes, you replied stupidly. His hand touching yours had switched your brain off, and you were now only using the basic speech given to you. You tried to hold it lighter, but it wasn't helping with his hand on yours, so you reached for his hand with your left hand to lift his off. Hang on, give me a sec, let me try again, you said, resetting your hold on the paddle and swishing it back and forth a bit. It feels like I'm going to let go of it, and it's going to go flying off somewhere, you admitted. That's because you're holding it too far away. Coming closer, he said, stepping in behind you and pulling your shoulders back so that they hit his chest, and you stiffened. You're bending over the table too far. You're leaving a gap between your paddle and the goal here, he said in a gruff voice, using his right hand to point over your shoulder to show you what he was talking about. Am I just short or is he tall? Because my shoulders are just on his chest line, so he's probably a good head and a little bit of upper body taller than me, you thought as you bent your head back and looked up at him. He looked down at you, the two of you sharing a little moment, which he didn't shy away from. Are you learning or what? He finally grunted, and you quickly snapped your head back down and looked at where he was pointing. Yes, you replied mechanically. Then you actually looked at what he was explaining, and it all made sense. Yeah, okay, I get it now, you said, moving your paddle back closer to the goal. You only have to defend this area. He pointed to the small slot that was only about 10 centimetres wide. You don't need to push the paddle all the way up there, because the puck isn't going to go through the wall of the table here. he explained, placing his hand on yours again and pushing the paddle across so he could show you that defending here would be useless. You would have been able to pay more attention had his lower torso not been pushing into your ass and you could feel all of him up behind you. Mm-hmm, you hummed. You got it? He asked. Mm-hmm, you replied again, sucking your lips between your teeth and nodding your head. Now practice your own because it sucks, he commented lowly into your ear. Well, that comment kind of snapped you out of it, and you grunted before kinking your neck to the side a little. Okay, hotshot, give me the puck and I'll shoot, you said, holding up your palm for him to put the puck into it. It's in your tray, dumbass, because I beat you, he said into your ear. Oh, you said softly, looking down and pushing back a bit to see into the tray at the end of the hockey table, your pushback pushing into him. Okay, Bakugo, not Katsuki, because you called me dumbass. I'm gonna nail this, watch me, you said, grabbing the puck from the tray and slamming it down in front of your paddle and swiping it quickly across the table to his side. Is she gonna sink it in? We'll find out in chapter 50 tomorrow. I'll see you then!